What's up, guys? It's Jacob from TCG Buzz, and it is time for us to sell out and try and ride a trend. So today we're going to be doing a tier list. We're going to be rating all the major current trading card games in tiers from S to F, and I'm really excited to get into this. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to like and subscribe, and we've got a whole bunch of social media stuff. I'm sure some will pop up on screen. If not, they're all in the description. But let's get into it. And of course, these are my opinions, but I've played every trading card game on this list at least once. I played lots and lots of trading card games, so I think I'm kind of an expert on this. So therefore, no complaining about my opinions because they are fact. Yep. This is the definitive list. Don't at me. All right, so we're going to start off with Bakugan Battle Planet. That's the reboot to Bakugan. If we're reviewing the original Bakugan, it won't even get on the list because it's not really a trading card game. It's a toy game. But this is a good balance of the two. I really think they did some good things to make the card game fun and not just the toys. But it is a little too much of a clone of other games like Magic. It's a little playing it safe, I'd say. So I'm going to put it in a B tier. B for Bakugan. Next we have Dragon Ball Super's card game. Dragon Ball Super's card game is fundamentally awesome, but it has a ton of problems. Just a ton. They keep releasing cards that are stupid broken. And I've had a problem recently with really not liking the look of a lot of the foils, but that's just me. But the core gameplay is very good, and Dragon Ball characters are awesome, so they've got a lot to leverage. So I'm actually going to put that in A tier. If they fixed some of the balance issues, I think it would easily be S tier. The core gameplay is very fun. Next we have Exodus TCG, one of the ones I'm least familiar with gameplay-wise. I've only played like 1 or 2 sample games of it. The big thing that stands out to me with this game is the art. I think straight up art-wise, it has the best art of any card game out there right now. And it's big and bold, and there's the other thing is they do a great job at making the foils and whatnot look very premium without making them distracting. I really like how they do that. That gets a B tier as well. I think the gameplay is fine. That's the only thing knocking it down, but the art is what brings it up. Like, if we were just talking gameplay, it'd probably be a C tier. Force of Will is next. Force of Will kind of rode the coattails of Magic the Gathering a lot, and I feel it was only super successful because it jumped in at a point where pretty much every other major card game was struggling, so it gained a lot of popularity from that, and then quickly died out. Once those other games figured their stuff out and fixed a lot of their problems, but it's held on. It's still around. I like the art in the game generally, though it's definitely too waifu-y. But core gameplay is fine if you just want a slightly different version of Magic the Gathering. So I'm going to put that in C tier. I know there are some big Force of Will fans that are going to be a little mad about that, but it's pretty good. Next we have Future Card Buddyfight. That's my main card game, the one I play the most, so I am pretty biased on this, but I'm going to put it in A tier. I would have put it in S tier. I really, really would have, if not for the past couple months. There have been some problems with the game, and they're doing some weird stuff with the direction, like these crossover booster sets with random Japanese anime. I'm not about that. Other than that, it would be S tier, but A tier is where it goes. Hearthstone. Hearthstone's fantastic. Core gameplay-wise, it's great. I wish it was physical, obviously, but it not being physical is kind of what makes it fun. There are obviously some deck types that would not work in a physical card game. And I love some of the interesting decks they've done, like the decks based off of even mana cost and odd mana cost and stuff like that. And the player base is super great, honestly. Like, one of the least cancer. I'm actually going to give it an S tier. Totally honest. Even though I don't play it all that much, it's just fantastic. Next is Lightseekers. Lightseekers is pretty recent, and it's one that I haven't played very often. I know one of the big things, it's got connectivity between the physical card game and the digital one. You can like scan your cards in. And I like how it does its mana colors and stuff. I think it has a really interesting take on that. But Lightseekers kind of feels to me like what you'd get if an AI designed a card game. It feels like it takes little elements from a lot of others, and it doesn't have all that much personality. I'm going to put that in D tier. Yeah. Next we have Magic the Gathering. What do you say about Magic the Gathering? Art's not very varied. You get a lot of that high fantasy look, which some people are very into, some people are not. But they do a great job with the different themes of blocks. There's so much detail and depth, and it's the oldest card game. It's great. Wizards of the Coast sucks, though. Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, they do everything they can to screw over their players, so it gets a B. Great game for variety, though. Next, we have the Pokemon card game, and I will admit it's fun to collect Pokemon cards, but it is probably the least fun card game ever. With actual gameplay. The gameplay of the Pokemon card game's complete trash. I'm sorry. It gets an E tier. Still fun to collect cards. Uh-oh. Next we have the Castor Chronicles. If you don't know about this one, I'm not surprised. Castor Chronicles is made by the Force of Will people, but it's bad. It's really, really bad. Some of the gameplay ideas are kind of cool, I guess, but its art is just, this is a generic waifu. This is a pen. It is not very good, and no one has ever played it. It goes right down there in F tier, and it is really gratuitous with the fan service, which is not going to sell your card game. I'm sorry. It sucks. F tier. Next we have the Transformers card game, done by Wizards of the Coast, which is pretty cool. It's got some really cool things where it's got like the big commander style cards, and some of them like flip and fold open, which, you know, obviously is going to break them over time. It's got some cool ideas, but I don't feel it does enough, or maybe the property itself isn't exciting enough to really get a lot of people into it. Like, I kind of feel you have to be a Transformers fan to get into it, whereas like I feel like someone who's not a fan of Dragon Ball could still enjoy the Dragon Ball card game. I'm going to put it in C tier. Next we have UFS, only card game that has both Soul Calibur and Cowboy Bebop in it, so I'm going to have to, you know, give it points for that. As far as the mixing up a whole bunch of things together and making a card game out of them go, it's okay. It's a little too Capcom heavy, though. And the gameplay is meh. I'm putting it in D tier. Next we have Cardfight Vanguard. Cardfight Vanguard. Cardfight Vanguard has some of the best elements of a card game ever and some of the worst elements of a card game ever. The art has some of the best variety out there. There's some really cool designs. The gameplay is relatively simple to learn and has some really unique mechanics. The fact that, you know, there are only monsters, no spell cards, anything like that's pretty cool. But the execution gets rough, and they recently did a reboot, which was not handled very well at all. I'm going to put it in C tier. Next we have Schwarz. Schwarz, if you don't know, is a card game with a bunch of anime put together. It's all anime, well, and a couple video games, I guess, but primarily anime, and primarily a lot of waifu animes and stuff. So you get other stuff like Attack on Titan and Persona and stuff like that, but primarily waifu stuff. I hate Schwarz so much. It's awful. Gameplay's bad, like, it's bad. The art is horrendous because it's a lot of like stock art of characters over random clip art backgrounds. It's really bad. The community's pretty cancerous, and even Yu-Gi-Oh players insult how bad they smell. Speaking of which, our last game is Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is very nostalgic, that's true. It's been around for quite a while. and it's got some really fun, cool mechanics. It definitely plays different than every other card game on this list, but that's not necessarily a good thing. Particularly modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a ton of problems. I don't even know where to start to fix it, honestly. You've got way too many FTKs, OTKs, ridiculous combos. The game's run its course. But there's some really great memories for tons of people mixed into there, and some people still enjoy it, but I'd say probably less than used to. So I'm going to put that in C tier. And that's the list. I hope you guys like the list, honestly. You know, it's my opinions, but again, my opinions are fact. Like this video, subscribe. Please, if you're new here, leave us a comment letting us know what you think about this list in general. Are you really mad at me? Did I forget a card game? I know I didn't cover a lot of the card games that don't exist anymore, where we might do that another time. Stuff like Duel Masters, stuff like that, older stuff. We might do a separate list on. Let us know if you want to see that. Please join our Discord. That's super important. We've got an awesome Discord with something like 120 members right now. Tons of really cool, fun people. And we talk about every card game under the sun, so join that. Check out our Instagram. Maybe a couple days after this video is out, post the tier list there and see what Instagram's reaction is. That would be quite fun. That's what I got. So, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.